Welcome back to Outwatch, a Survivor Rewatch podcast. My name is Alex, and I will be your host with the most, the host with the probst, or something like that. Throughout our whole experience.
We don't need to record this episode.
And thanks for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Our Patreon is the following. We are currently binging through season 28 of Survivor Cagayan, and this is the third episode of our podcast season, and that means it's time for our Outwatch Fantasy Draft. One of my favorite parts. Yes. One of my favorite parts of our podcast is after we've given everybody a chance to meet the contestants, we will do a version of Fantasy Survivor where we all draft a tribe, if you will, and accrue points throughout the rest of the season based on how well our picks perform. So that's what today is. We're going to draft our tribes. I, of course, am not alone here. I'm joined by three of my friends who will be doing the drafting and putting their teams together. Let's start with, first of all, the defending Outwatch Fantasy champion, Mr. Adam.
Fist in the air.
Perfect for our audio medium.
What is it? Fists. Yes. Welcome to Outwatch.
Glad to be here, Alex.
This is what I'll ask each of you, just so we get a little bit of an insight into your brain going into this crucial draft. What are really the things that you are prioritizing coming into this draft today? What's the characteristics that would land a survivor high on your Mel Kiper big board?
Well, if I remember who they are, they're pretty high on the board.
That's a good first attribute. That's right. We've listened to the first, or actually watched the first two episodes of this season to this point. So everybody has been introduced to us, but we haven't learned a whole lot about any players yet. Unless you are, have watched those two episodes like 4 times, which we certainly haven't.
Nope.
Hey, Emily, welcome to Outwatch.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime. Hey, what are you really prioritizing coming into this draft?
I think that it is important not to ignore people who may be looking like sleepers at the moment.
It's true.
Like a Dara or a Lil?
Yeah, exactly. Because last season we did not even draft Dara, and she ended up making it very far in the game.
Yes.
5, 4, 5. Final 5.
So,
4.
Yeah.
I think she was 4th.
Final 4. Somewhere in there.
Could have really swung the whole game. Scott, welcome to Outwatch.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, so great. Scott, since he has previously viewed this season, will be drafted by a random number generator this season. We'll just plug a number in, and whichever player corresponds to that number will be added to his team. So, Scott, what advice do you have for your RNG machine coming into this draft?
So really, I'm just looking for my random number generator to just give me the winner.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good strategy. If you come
away
away with the
I'm
winner,
gonna really harness the power of like Tribe Jameis Winston and just do what the Buccaneers do and just pick a random number and pick a random person and see what happens.
Wonderful.
How are we going to name our teams this year? Last year we were going to.
It happened pretty organically last time, right?
Wait, what?
Didn't it happen pretty organically last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam, just let it happen.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, if you can't come up with a name at the end of this episode, like that's all right. You'll come up with one as it
I
happens.
already got a name. That's why I was asking.
Oh, okay. Or you can just have one.
I want to be the earlobes.
Why?
Beauty, brawn, and brains. It's all like body parts or like physical appearances. So like the earlobes, which are the smartest, most physically strong, and what was the other thing? Oh, the most attractive body part by far.
That was such a weird thing to say.
No, I'm for it.
Get out of here,
This
Scott.
isn't fun for me right now. I have to be honest.
Some would say that earlobes are cute but not hot. Yeah, I'm not following you at all, but yeah, go for it. It sounds great. Huh?
Cool.
Cool. Okay, so a quick reminder of how this draft is going to go and what we are drafting for, and then we'll jump right into it. So like we said, the rest of this season, the players on your team will be getting points for you based on a number of things, such as winning immunities, winning rewards, surviving, voting correctly, playing idols and advantages correctly, and ultimately a big whopper of a lot of points if you make it to the end and if you get votes at Final Tribal Council. So while you don't have to have the winner to win, it definitely increases your chances a lot because ultimately the goal of Survivor is to win. And so the goal of this fantasy draft is to pick the winner and other people who are going to make it far and play an impactful game. A fun little addition to this season that is relevant that wasn't last season is that I'm going to give a point away for each player who names an episode at any given episode, because I think that's fun. The name or the title of each episode is a quote from that episode. So fun stuff.
And idols are in play in this one.
Idols are in play, which could swing a lot of points one way or the other too. If you will get a point for every idol clue or advantage found or won, and you'll also get a point for every advantage or idol played. So you get players who are active in the idol and advantage game. You'll get some points for that as well.
Cool.
Other than that, the rules and the scoring is pretty much the same. We talked about it after last season, and it seemed to be pretty fair. So we can always adjust as necessary after this season. The draft order tonight will be in reverse order of the standings from last season, just like any good draft is. So that means Scott will get the first pick as he finished in third place last season. Emily will get the second pick, and then Adam, our defending champion, will have the distinct honor of having the third pick.
Wearing my tank.
Yes. The tank, of course, was the winner prize from last season, Survivor Pearl Islands, pirate themed. Rupert had a very good tie-dye tank. So we'll have to come up at some point with a relevant winner totem for this season too.
Yes.
We should see if we can find like a beauty contest winner trophy or something like that.
Like a tiara.
Yes.
Tiara is the first choice. We'll see if anything else becomes more
I can't
iconic.
wait to wear a tiara every recorded episode next season.
Your tiara and your tie-dye tank top. That'd be quite a look.
Yes. The belle of the ball.
The belle of the Allen ball, if you will. That's a player from a different season of Survivor. Survivor jokes. All right. Hey, what do you say we kick this draft off?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right, Scott, you get the first pick. And as we discussed earlier, you are just going to plug a number between 1 and 15 into a random number generator. And you'll get the player whose alphabetical ranking in between 1 and 15 corresponds to that number.
Okay.
So say a quick prayer to RN Jesus and let it roll.
You are full of the puns today. I love it. All right, here we go. 7.
7. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, Scott, with the first pick off the board, that's going to be Lindsay, the hairdresser from the Braun tribe. Now,
all right.
Scott, I'm going to ask you to do something difficult here and perhaps even impossible. And that is to react to this pick without spoiling how well or not well this person does.
Truthfully, I don't remember how well Lindsay does.
Okay, great.
So I don't really know how to react. I'm hoping it's
clearly made an impression on the game, though.
Yes.
So,
well, you know what?
See.
Yeah, we'll Emily or Adam, do either of you, how do you feel about your own big boards after Lindsay comes off number 1 here off the board?
Given that I couldn't remember what tribe she was on, I feel pretty good about her being off the board.
Not someone high on your target list then, huh?
Not at all.
Well, that's good for the two of you. And that means, Emily, you've got this next pick here. Everybody but Lindsay is available to you. And I guess let's update the folks at home with who is on the board.
Corn beer.
Yeah. I don't know if this beer has corn syrup or not. But that's something that I, as a beer consumer, am very concerned with.
Have to wait for Bud Lights come at your local breweries.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay, this is such a sidebar, but we'll leave it in. Did you know or see that after those commercials ran, like the American Corn Agency or whatever, like tweeted at Bud Light and was like, "We're really disappointed that you don't like corn syrup. Let's talk about all the great benefits of corn syrup. And thanks Coors Light and Miller Lite for using corn syrup."
That's
Wow.
really funny.
It is really funny. You should look it up. We're recording this shortly after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you listen to this in 2 months, you may not have any idea what we're talking about.
Right. It probably doesn't stick in the national conscious for very long. But it could be like a little fun time capsule into
Yeah.
February 4th, 2019.
Culturally appropriate references.
Yes. Anyway, these are the people that you can vote, that you can draft. In alphabetical order, we've got Alexis from the Beauty Tribe, Cliff from Brawn, Jatia from Brain, Jeffra from Beauty, Jeremiah from Beauty, Cass from Brains, LJ from Beauty, Morgan from Beauty, Sarah from Brawn, Spencer from Brains, Tasha from Brains, Tony from Brawn, Trish from Brawn, and Woo from Brawn. So that's everybody that's on this season with the exception of Garrett, David, and Bryce, who were voted out before this draft. So, Emily, with all of those options available to you, who's going to be your first pick in this draft?
Yes. Well, I chose Cass as my pick for the winner, so I will go ahead and pick her now for my team.
All right, Cass coming off the board with the second overall pick, the first overall pick that was done by someone with a conscious and thinking mind. Emily, why did you make the call to go with Cass here?
Yeah, well, I remember that she was just very no nonsense. She was seemed like she really understood that the game you can't be too emotionally invested in it. So she was okay with making alliances and just focusing on being very strategic. We'll see if her bluntness will be her downfall, but for now it seems like a good way to play the game.
Adam, does that throw a wrench in your plans, voting or drafting wise?
I mean, I like Cass a lot. At the end of the day, it is a social game, though, and I don't foresee her going very far. So she wasn't high on my list.
All right, Scott. Even though you can't necessarily speak into what's coming up, what was your take on Cass's first 6 days or so on Cagayan?
I thought she was surprisingly blunt.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe a hard hitter. We'll definitely have to see how she does this season.
Indeed, we shall. All right, so 2 picks down. Adam, you get 2 back-to-back. Let's go ahead and take your first, and we'll talk about it, and then you can take your second.
Well, I will follow suit with Emily and choose my winner, who is Spencer.
Spencer, not Seth, but Spencer.
Yep.
What's appealing to you in Spencer?
Spencer seems like the kind of guy who he sees the game kind of big picture. He understands when he's supposed to stay silent. He just seems to make sure that he aligns with the right people, which early on could be his downfall, but we'll see. I think he can recover. So,
all right, we've got 2 brains off the board here in the first 3 picks after a really rough start from that tribe. Adam, you've got 1 more pick. What are you thinking with your second pick here?
I think I'm going to go with Woo.
No.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang it is.
No.
Emily, you sound pretty distraught about that. Was he high on your board?
Yeah, he seems so happy. I just wanted some positivity on my team.
The anti-Cass, if you will. Adam, why'd you pick Woo here?
He just seems like a strong player. He seems like the kind of guy who's not going to get caught up in the emotional aspect of the game. He seems like he's going to compete well in individual immunity and reward challenges. And he just seems like a likable guy. So I think he'll play the social game well. But we'll see.
Fair enough. He was he's been doing some acting recently too. Have you noticed him from any commercials or anything recently?
Nope.
Because he's in an Apple commercial. Really threw me for a loop when I saw him in an Apple commercial in the last
Wow.
year.
There you go.
Yeah. Emily, you talked a little bit about why that's a disappointing pick on your end. What was really drawing you to Woo?
I just distinctly remember there was a horrible, horrible storm and everyone was really wet. They all had like pruny fingers and
Yes.
they couldn't make a fire or eat or anything. And he was like, this is just Survivor. This
Yeah.
is what happens. And he was really positive. So
Indeed.
yeah, he seems ready for it, you know.
Wu-Tang.
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 Wu-Tang forever, man.
Scott, what did you think about those two players' first couple days here, Spencer and Wu?
I thought Spencer was silently the only brain, or maybe not so silently, but he seems to actually understand the game. And also, I agree with what the other two said. I thought Wu was very overly positive, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, it's really easy. You can get voted out a lot of times just by being a really bad person to be, spending every hour of every day with. Unsurprisingly. All right, Emily, it's back to you. What's going to be your second pick? This is going to be the 5th overall pick in the draft.
Oh my gosh. What team is Sarah on? What
Sarah
tribe
is
she?
a brawn. She is the cop.
Oh, I'll go
She's
with
got
her.
Copdar.
I'll go with her. She's got Copdar.
All right, Emily
Hey,
takes
hey,
Sarah.
Alex, you want to know a secret? I'm not a cop.
You want to know another secret? I'm not
I am
a
a
cop. Oh, God.
Tony.
All right, Emily. So why Sarah other than her Copdar?
Yeah, her Copdar makes me really nervous for her because she is too trusting of the other cops. But I think she's stepped up to be a leader already, and she seems she's not deterred by circumstances or anything. She definitely is a brawn player, so she's got that going. And then the leadership part, she's got the social aspect too. So she seems well-rounded for what little I've seen of her so far.
All right. Scott, she's not on the beauty tribe, but if she was, do you think LJ would classify her as cute or hot?
That's really hard to say. It's really hard to speculate on.
So
I trust
subjective.
cute more than I trust hot.
I remember very vividly when that first ran, and I am ashamed to admit this, but I was kind of like, he's kind of right. Yeah. All right, Scotty, it's back to you. This time, make that random number generator pick a number between 1 and 10, right? Because we've got 5
I
off the
think we're
board.
10.
5 off the board, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Jesus, let's do this. Take the wheel. I got number 9.
Number 9. That grabs you the man himself, Tony.
Hey,
You got the other cop this season. Let's let the others speculate on that pick. Adam, Emily, are you bummed to see Tony off the board here? Gone to the likes of RN Jesus and Scott.
Tony was someone that was on my radar, kind of a lower pick for me. Like if I come down to the last 2 picks and he's still there, might have grabbed him. I don't know. He's a curious player. We'll see if his little hidey hole check works out or not for him.
Yeah, he's so extra. I can see him going down his lines.
It's worked out for him once. Sorry to interrupt you with whatever noise that was, Emily.
No,
Please
it
continue.
was worth it.
That was good background music for what I was saying. So, great.
Did you have anything to add?
Me?
No, Emily. I feel like I cut you off.
No, I just said I think he is one who is either going to be great or absolutely terrible. So I'm glad I didn't have to make a decision about him.
Schrodinger's Survivor.
Schrodinger's Survivor.
Cool.
All right, Scott, you've got one more pick. Rather, RNGesus does on your behalf. So between 1 and 9, let's see what you get.
Okay, here we go. I got number 7 again.
Number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That leaves you with Morgan. Morgan.
I don't know if I trust her.
Would you say it's because she's like more hot than cute?
You know.
It's tough to say.
Tough to say.
The
we'll take her on the team.
There you go. I've probably mentioned this stuff before. There's this huge Survivor audiobook called The Evolution of Strategy that Rob Sesternino and Josh Wigler do, where they do deep strategic insight and funniness into like the whole catalog of Survivor. But there's like little inside jokes each season. And one of them from this season, not because I've actually listened to this, but because they reference it in other stuff, is whenever they talk about Morgan, they're like, Morgan, it's so hot out here.
Oh my gosh.
So, Scott, you get Morgan.
I don't know that I cannot talk like that with reference to her moving forward.
It's very fitting.
Very fitting.
All right, so we've had 7 come off the board. We're left with Alexis, Cliff, Jatia, Jeffra, Jeremiah, LJ, Tasha, and Trish. And Emily, it's your pick. Where are you going with this one?
Where's Tasha? What tribe is she on?
Tasha is a brain. She's the one who got really bummed and upset when Garrett was doing this stuff about keeping everybody at camp.
Okay.
And who just opened a Chick-fil-A franchise.
Oh, yes. Who's Alexis again?
Alexis is the dark-haired girl on the beauty tribe that's not Morgan.
Oh, yes. Well, I've already done.
Don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
I'll do Alexis. What the heck?
All right, Alexis it is.
That's one from each tribe.
There you go. You've got a well-balanced tribe now. Hey, why'd you pick Alexis other than just complete randomness?
see, there was some intention there. I was channeling my Dara.
You're trying to find the next Dara.
I was like, Alexis, who's that? I was like, oh well, she must be the Dara.
Yeah.
So she's a contingency plan in case we get another Dara situation.
Yes.
I feel that. It's a good move.
Thank you.
Adam, was Alexis on your radar at all?
No, I have officially exhausted pretty much every person that was really I would like that person at this place. So I got no idea now from going in blind.
All right.
Next 2 picks.
Scott, what was the impression you got from Alexis in these first couple episodes? We didn't see a lot from her.
I was going to say, we didn't see a lot. I just know that she's got really big eyes.
Yeah.
She does.
She does.
Also, I don't know that she was on my radar, but she might have been on RNGesus's radar.
You never know.
We don't really know.
Some would say that we are all on RNGesus's radar.
Yeah,
we can hope.
Cool. Adam, it's to you. You've got 2 consecutive picks again. What are you going to do with that first one?
I think for my first pick, I am going to go with Tasha.
Tasha coming off the board.
Because
to Adam's tribe.
I love that brain tribe.
The brain tribe has been nothing but a hot mess thus far, but there's only one brain left on the board. What's your reasoning behind Tasha there?
Tasha is really excited to play the game. I feel like she could definitely get into a merge of some kind, or however they're going to continue this, and really make some good alliances, some smart plays. I love her energy.
All right. Scott, what was your take on Tasha's first couple episodes?
I really liked her fire and her passion for the game.
Yeah.
Especially because she was willing to just call Garrett out on his stuff. Like, what are you doing? This is Survivor. So
Right.
I really liked that.
Yes, a big personality so far. Adam, you've got one more pick here.
I do have one more pick. I think I'm going to go with Jeremiah to round out my tribes.
It would have been only fitting if Jeremiah was on the RN Jesus tribe, since, they're both biblical characters. But
Yeah.
you had to rob us of that, but that's okay.
Hey, there's still Jeffra.
How is she a biblical character?
It's a biblical name.
Jeffra? I think you're thinking of Jethro.
I honestly don't know. I just feel like I was thinking about it this week. I was like, the only way that name exists is if it's biblical, and I just don't realize it.
Or
Kentucky
that she's
biblical.
from Kentucky.
It's
Yeah.
Kentucky biblical.
Yikes. Hey, what was appealing to you about Jeremiah there, Adam?
Again, I think Jeremiah is just going to turn out to he's either going to turn out to be a pretty smart player in that he makes his moves at the right times, or at the very least, he just knows when to keep his mouth shut and play along, which could keep him in the game a while.
Fair enough.
I'm okay with either of those. So,
Emily, do you have a reaction to either of those picks, Tasha or Jeremiah?
I finally remembered who Tasha was once she was picked and we talked about her again. So that helped a lot. I did like her. I wanted her on my team. I just forgot. So that's that. And then Adam's looking at Bible references, so I can't look at our sheet. Jeremiah was next.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
Yeah,
it's Jephthah is the biblical name I was thinking of. Guys.
I see.
Yes. Thank you.
Such a PK.
You know it.
Jeremiah seems like a solid sleeper right now. So yeah, he could maybe do great things, or he could get voted out.
It actually seems like almost everybody's had a pretty hard time sleeping this season so far. So I doubt he's really a solid sleeper.
Oh, the puns today.
It's been a lot
They
of
say they're all just hiding in their little hideout cubby things.
They're spy holes.
They're spy holes.
Spy Shack.
Spy shack.
Yeah, there we go.
Emily, before you take your next pick, it's important to note that there has been a late addition apparently to this draft list. Penis has showed up now on the list.
Huh.
Don't know how that got there or who would have
How'd
put
that
it
get
there.
here?
Do you think that was just a mistake? It should have been, instead of LJ, it should say penis or something.
I think so. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and eliminate LJ from the running and add penis instead.
I'm so shaky on these names. You could have added that to the list. And I would have been like, okay, who's that?
Who's penis? I don't remember
Yeah.
that.
This season on Survivor, we're pushing the boundaries farther than ever. We've got the first ever Survivor named Penis.
Penis for everybody.
Hi there, my name is Penis. I'm on Survivor 39. And I'm rock hard and ready. Oh, God.
This is taking a turn.
Anyway, Emily, it's your pick. Just to set the scene once again, we're down to our final 5 left on the board. And that would be Cliff, Jatia, Jeffra, LJ, and Trish. All 5 will be picked this season. So no one will be left undrafted.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with your second to last pick here, Emily?
I'm going to pick Trish.
Trish it is.
Good pick.
Thank you.
Why is that?
Because I've decided that I'm making an all-female group, because you talked about that one season with the all-female alliance who were badasses. So I'm going to just make my own.
All right. You're going to bring it into existence here.
Yeah. What were they called?
The Black Widow Brigade.
Yeah.
That's a really
it was
good name.
so sick. Yeah, it was.
So we'll see how my picks do.
So Emily's just gonna secret this into existence.
Yeah. Adam, you said that was a good pick when she made that. Why did you respond in that way?
I really like Trish. I think that she's just kind of, I don't think she's someone that could win the whole game at the end of it, but I think she's someone that could see herself in the final in not the same fashion as Dara, but like a fairly similar fashion as Dara. Like she just doesn't get voted out basically and is physically strong enough to stay in the game.
Fair enough. Scott, it's time for
Yo.
you to round out the squad. So
All right.
1 to 4 this time.
Okay. Here we go. I got number 4.
That would be LJ.
All
LJ.
right.
Thank God he's not on my team.
LJ joins Scott's ranks. Adam obviously didn't want him based on that reaction. Emily, do you have a take on that pick?
Well, my only point of reference is to soundbite, so I'm good. I'm good with my team.
To be clear, that's basically the other reason I don't want him to. It's because of his sound bites.
But taken away from the soundbite, he's a strong athletic competitor on the Beauty Tribe, which hasn't really. Well, they did lose one.
He's also a leader, though.
He's a leader. That's true.
You don't want to be the leader early on. I just don't think that's going to work out for him in
That's
the
what the L and LJ is, leader.
leader.
Yeah.
Leader John.
Leader
Leader
John.
Truthfully, I don't really remember how far LJ goes. So
Yeah, we saw with Savage last season too, where even if you're the leader and you can kind of avoid targeting in the first part of the tribal phase, once people get into a swapped phase or a merge phase and you find yourself at the bottom, putting yourself out as the leader is a good way to be targeted pretty first. So an astute observation there, Adam.
Thank you.
Scott, time to round out your tribe between Cliff, Jatia, or Jeffra.
okay.
1 to 3.
Last pick. 2.
That's Jatia.
Yeah.
We gonna dump rice on all of y'all.
All right, and that'll go ahead and round out Scott's tribe. We're looking at Lindsay, Tony, Morgan, LJ, and Jatia. What a motley crew. Adam, what do you think about Jatia coming off the board? Was that someone you wanted?
It was not someone I wanted, but also Jatia somehow managed to be the most targeted player for 2 tribal councils in a row and not get voted out. So maybe that's the person you want on your team, you know?
That's a good point. Emily, what about you? You're only left with one female option now if you want to complete that thought.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Jeffra. I don't feel great about it, but also I have to believe in her. I think she's going to be great.
Jeffra, very sweet, very lovely, very
Yeah.
kind so far,
Yeah.
gentle heart. Let's see how well that shakes out in Survivor.
She gets very cold.
Yeah, that's like the one thing
She
that's
does get
stuck in
cold.
my mind is when she's like almost in tears because it's so cold outside.
And blue.
Yeah. Like, you're doing great.
Hang in there, Jethro. And so, Adam, that leaves you with Cliff.
I'll take him. Wu-Tang forever, man.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get both halves of the Wu-Tang Alliance.
Woo, woo.
All right, so let's go ahead and recount back what these tribes look like. If you guys have tribe names that you want to go ahead and canonize at this point, feel free. And then we'll give our takes on our tribes. Adam, your tribe looking to defend your championship is Spencer, Wu, Tasha, Jeremiah, and Cliff. Emily, your tribe is Cass, Sarah, Alexis, Trish, and Jeffra. And then Scott, your randomly selected group is Lindsay, Tony, Morgan, LJ, and Jatia. Let's just go down the line here. Adam, how do you feel about the squad that you have put together?
The squad that I have put together, I feel very good about. I think I have a good mix of people from a few different alliances. So as things shape up, they're not going to all wind up on the same alliance and get voted out. I feel good. I feel like I stretched myself well. We'll see though.
You've got 3 brains you've got 2 brains, a beauty, and 2 bronze.
Yeah.
Looking at your other competition here, do you feel threatened by either one of these other 2 tribes, or do you feel confident that you've got back-to-back championships here in the bag?
I feel a little threatened by Emily's tribe. I will admit she's got some strong competitors on that tribe, you know. And last time it came down to I not only had to have the winner, but had to have the winner with at least 5 votes or something. So I mean, it can come down to the wire. I don't feel quite as nervous about Scott's tribe. I think he's got a strong tribe, but I don't know.
You don't trust in RN Jesus.
Yeah.
I think maybe he made some mistakes.
I think he didn't take strong players when it had the chance.
Fair enough. Emily, what are you thinking about your squad here?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel like I have some players that I feel strongly about, some that I don't know a lot about, but they have potential. So I'll be interested to see where they all land.
Takes on the other two tribes, your competition?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just don't know. I think Scott's is a mixed bag. So RNG's did its job well. Yeah, I don't know. Adam, you've got like a little alliance within yours already.
Yeah.
Adam's got the Wu-Tang.
Yeah,
Wu-Tang
that'll be
forever,
interesting
man.
too.
That was really great. Scott, anything you want to add here?
Honestly, it doesn't matter what I think about my tribe. It's the tribe selected for me by RN Jesus. So I'm just going to trust him.
That's wise.
Yeah. I think Adam and Emily picked some really good teams. So I'm real excited to see how it shakes out. I honestly forget how a lot of the people on my team finished up. So I honestly don't know how I'm going to do. So
all right. Were there any picks, not that RN Jesus made, because there's no explaining he works in mysterious ways is what they say, but any picks by your human counterparts that were especially puzzling during the course of this draft?
Not necessarily. Yeah, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head at this point, based on what we know at this point. I think everybody made the best decisions they probably could. So.
Sorry, I was going to say, if I were to criticize my team, I have 4 guys and 1 girl. I don't feel like that's a very good split.
Yeah, we will only have to see. Adam, you're naming your tribe the earlobes. Is that correct? Would you care to explain that again?
Strongest, most beautiful, and smartest part of the body.
All right. If you say so. Emily, is this your official team name that's here in our document, or is that something that Adam has done as a goof?
No, I did that.
I love it. I love it.
That was my work, and I will commit to it.
I didn't come up with that.
Go ahead and tell us your team name and the inspiration behind it.
Yeah, it's Dara's Second Wind is my name. I was thinking of adding a subtitle, but we'll work on that later.
TBD.
Yeah.
Dara's Second Wind, the purple edit.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to be intentional. Like I said at the beginning of this draft, I wanted to make sure I was giving due diligence to the tribe members who maybe don't get a lot of attention at the beginning, because sometimes they end up pretty far in the game. So we'll see what happens.
I think you've got at least 2 people that very much on the surface fill that mold, potentially, between Alexis and Jeffra. Both are cute, athletic, nice girls who could do a lot of damage without really anybody knowing about it. Scott, do you have a name for your team at this point?
Tentatively, no. I've got a few options.
I think Emily has a name for your team here.
Okay, let's hear it.
She's going to type it out. Tentatively, no. That's Emily's name for your team. Is tentatively no.
That's what you said. I'm hilarious.
That's a good one.
I really like something like the Disciples.
Oh, there we go.
Something like that.
The first thing that popped in my head was like the femurs, because that actually is the strongest bone in the. I don't know. It's the biggest bone in the body.
You know what, Scott? I think you're wrong, because I think the earlobes exist. So
those are bones.
If it was, if our late added competitor Penis if he got drafted, he would have claimed to have the biggest bone in the body, but. but he did not.
Cool.
Well, this has been a whole lot of fun. Any closing notes here from any of you three before we wrap up on our draft special?
I'm just really not having any fun right now.
You don't say.
This isn't fun for me right now. I have to be honest.
I would have picked him so early if this had happened like an episode sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that probably would be a common thing among a lot of people without seeing him play.
He seems like such a strong player.
Yeah. Strong guy who apparently is really smart, but is socially inept. That'll hurt you.
Yeah.
Well, great. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of Outwatch, a Survivor Rewatch podcast. Next time, we'll be back with our deep dive analysis of Cagayan episode 3. And we will be taking into account our drafted tribes and following along with the progress of our combatants. Make sure that you subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify so you don't miss an episode. And let us know down below. There's not really comments on podcasts, are there? So don't let us know anything. But you can tweet at us at Outwatch Podcasts with your takes on who drafted the best team. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time.